Hello and welcome to this review. I'm excited to show you the WellMaking 45 watt LED rollable flexible light panel. I'm actually currently using the 100 watt version of this light, which I've had now for over a year. I've really enjoyed using it. I use it a lot. I've used it in weddings, I've used it in YouTube videos, I've used it in real estate videos, portrait photography. I've used it in all sorts of things. It's held up really nicely. So when I was in the market to pick up a new light and I saw the 45 watt version, I was pretty excited to pick one up because it's smaller, it's even more compact than an already compact light. And I didn't feel I needed the full 100 watts like what I have with this panel. I mean, right now I'm using it, it's maybe, I don't know, 5 feet away, and it's through a diffuser and I have it at 21% power. So I don't need as much power as what that provides most of the time. It is nice to have it, but 45 watts I found from using it already that it is more than powerful for what I need it. So maybe you're like me, you've heard of the benefits of these flexible panel lights, and you got on your favorite photography sales website and you saw probably some of the most popular brands like Westcott or Intellitex, and you saw price tags that were a little scary, a little daunting. I know some of them can run from 500 to 1,000 or more for a single panel light. So they can get really expensive. So maybe then you got on Amazon or you started looking around the web at cheaper alternatives and you came across WellMaking, which maybe you've heard of, maybe you haven't. I had it up until maybe a year and a half ago when I bought one of their cob lights and really liked it, and then got the panel light, got another cob light. I've had a few WellMaking lights now, and I've actually really enjoyed this brand as a cheaper alternative to more expensive brands. But it's at a fraction of the cost of those lights. And so the question is it worth it or not? What sacrifices are you making as compared to a Westcott or something like that? So we will go ahead and take a quick look at that. I'm going to go through the specs real quickly. I don't want to bore you with it. You probably already see all the specs on the sales page that you're looking at, but I'm going to run through them real quickly. So it is 45 watts. It is a flexible LED panel, meaning you can curve it around, you can roll it up, there's a lot you can do with it. It's bicolor from 3200 to 5600 Kelvin. Yes, I'm reading right off my iPad for this. It comes with the panel light, a bracket to connect it to a light stand, which is not included. And then it comes with a 10-foot power cable, collapsible diffuser. The diffuser has its own case. It comes with a remote and then a carrying case to put everything in, which is actually very high quality. With a lot of these brands, they skimp on the case, and you might get a couple months out of it, the zipper rips out, all that. Not the case with this one. This one seems very high quality. The light is about 13.5 inches by 13.5 inches, and then the actual bulbs are about 8.5 inches by 8.5 inches. So there's like a border around it with Velcro and material. So that's the 13.5. The lights actually make up 8.5 by 8.5. There are 12 rows of LEDs by 16 rows. It weighs in at just about a half a pound. It feels like the weight of a small pad of paper. It's very, very lightweight. The heaviest part is where the power cable goes into the back. That's a real hard plastic and then metal. Let's see here. There is no screen or buttons on the panel itself. So that's probably helping with waterproofing and the thinness of it. But I do know the more expensive ones oftentimes have a screen on the back, which is a little, it's convenient to have a screen so then you can adjust it, you know what you're working with. With this one, you have to use the remote. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this out. We have the light panel itself. Again, 13.5 by 13.5, and then 8.5 by 8.5. And then the power cable, and then here's the bracket to connect it. These gels did not come with it, but I just wanted to show you, these were real inexpensive on Amazon, and it's really easy to clip on to the panel light, so you can get different lights or different colors. And then here's the X bracket that goes on the back. All right, so one of the things I wanted to talk about real quickly was why a flexible panel. Why do I now own 2 flexible panels? And the reason I chose these over, say, a cob light or just a standard panel light, well, first of all, I do own those lights. I do own a couple cob lights, I own a couple panel lights, and now I own 2 of these flexible lights. There's just something very convenient about flexible lights. First off, when it's time to pack up the lights, they're super simple. You can see the kind of case it comes in. The case and everything in it weighs almost nothing. So it's very nice to throw in your trunk and take with you, and then you get an ultra bright light with very little lugging around of equipment. They're easy to put together, and then they're easy to tear back down. So it comes down to flexibility, ease of use, simplicity, and then it allows me to put it in really unique places. So I'll put it against a wall when I'm doing real estate, for example. And so when you come in with a video, you know, your camera's on gimbal and you're walking through the room, if you have it stuck against the wall, which I literally just use gaffer's tape to tape it against a wall or on a ceiling, very convenient. You can hide it very easily. They're also waterproof, so you can have it out in the rain, you can have it out in the elements or the snow. And then on top of that, unlike my cob lights, which have fan noise, which isn't a big deal to me personally, but these have no fan. There's no need for a fan. When I leave these on, the other night I left it on for 2 hours straight at 100%, and other than the little, this piece back here, excuse me, this piece back here, this was a little warm. The power pack itself was just a little bit warm. The lights were cool to the touch, which is great because then I can put the gels directly against it and there's no problem. So there's no fan noise, there's no buzzing, nothing at all. All right, so let's talk about build quality. Build quality is fantastic. As I mentioned earlier, the bag is of high quality, a nice zipper on it. The power cable is long. It's made of a nice thick rubber. The remote is plastic with rubber buttons. I would say this is probably the weakest part of the kit just because this controls the light. This is all you have to control the light. So you need this to be working, and it is made of plastic. I would love to see it made of metal, but my other one is a year old and it still controls the light. Let's see, the light on the screen on this is backlit, which is super convenient when you're filming in the dark and you need to know what exactly your settings are on this. And it does allow for changing the color temperature and the brightness and a few other settings on it. The light stand adapter, this guy right here, is all metal. There's nothing plastic or cheap on this, which is great. The X bracket is all metal. This is made of like a pleathery, plasticky material, very flexible, high quality, good stitching. And then you have this Velcro around here. The diffuser just pops on real easily. It's really nice. And then you have these rubber nubs over the LED lights, which is great. It might help with light diffusion, but I think it's really just to protect the LED lights, to keep them from hitting against something and breaking. So it's a great feature to have those little beads on there. So yeah, that's about it. That covers the quality of it. It does have a CRI rating of over 96, which means natural looking colors and ideally no issues if you're color grading. Less time spent correcting skin tones, the better. The light can get up to 1800 lux at 1 meter. I'm going to switch over to it and you'll see just how bright it can get. When somebody says 1800 lux at 1 meter, I'm like, okay, I don't really know what that means. I don't really trust that number. So I'll just show you how bright it can get. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over. So you're looking at the 100 watt light right now. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the 45 watt light and we'll take a look at just how nice that light looks. All right, so this is the 45 watt light. I'm gonna take some videos of it so you can see just what it looks like, my setup. What you're seeing right now is literally, I'm in a dark basement. It's nighttime, there aren't any windows in here anyway, but so it's pitch black in here other than a couple of cheap lights in the background and then the 45 watt flexible panel light. So this is it. This is what you can expect. Now I know some people need real bright lights. They're trying to overpower the sun, or they're trying to, do all these really creative things to light up an entire room. I'll show you what this is like. This one is at 6%. So you can see the brightness level. It's about, I'd say, 5 or 6 feet from me right now with the included diffuser, and that's it. I have a little cheap homemade aluminum foil over the left side of the light to prevent light spill in the background. But that's it. Like this is what you would get. You buy this light for whatever it is right now on Amazon or wherever, and this is what you can expect from this light. So I think it's really impressive. So this is at 5600 Kelvin. I'm assuming it'd be even brighter if you took it down to like maybe around 4700, where it has both sets of lights, the tungsten and the daylight lights going at the same time. But I'm gonna go ahead and take it from 6 up to 100%, just so you can see. Please ignore my messy basement as this reveals all of the flaws. Here we go. This is about 55%, and I'll go ahead and finish it 75, 100%. So this is 100%, and you can see just how bright this is. And we'll go right about there. So you could really get creative with this light. It can be as bright or as dim as you want. Here, I'll bring it down so you can see just how dim it'll get. There you have it. This is what you can expect. There we go. From this light. So pretty good. I'm gonna ask my beautiful assistant and wife to take a seat here, and I'm going to take a photo of her with this diffusion panel. So this photo will just be, again, just the light, and I'm using a Canon R. So my camera's like not high end, it's also not cheap, but it's a Canon R. I think I have the 24-105 f4 lens. So you'll get to see what you can do with portrait photography as well. Is it still recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
Good. So what do you guys think of those photos? I don't claim to be the best photographer by any means, and that was just like a very informal snap a few photos. I didn't have time to really shape the light. I just wanted you to see something from just this light. I mainly see this light being perfect for people just getting into photography or videography. You could pick up this light, a light stand, a reflector board, even a second level of diffusion, and maybe even a hair light, like some cheap little light that you could put over your head to get nice depth in your shot. You could get all that for under 200, 250 bucks, which is incredible. Like that would be all you need in lighting. And maybe that sounds like a lot to you, but compared to what's out there at the professional level, their lights are so expensive. So this is a fantastic option for somebody looking, who's budget-minded, looking for a high-quality, bright light with an included diffuser and everything that you need. But I don't think that this is just for beginners. I think it's also for people like me who have, say, a side business where I do photography and videography. I have paid clients. This light is durable enough, it's bright enough, it's high quality enough for me to use it professionally. I'd have no problem taking this on site, and I wouldn't be embarrassed to have it because it looks nice, it works great, it's reliable, it's made of high quality material. It's a good light. And so I think even if you have a budget, that this would be a great option for you. I hope that this review has been helpful to you. I hope that I've covered everything, any questions that you might have had, and thanks for watching. I appreciate it.